Welcome. This is going to be an Akashic Records reading. And if you're just finding me for the first time, my name is Carrie. I'm an Akashic Records reader and also a medium and a mentor. I have been doing Akashic Records readings at an accelerated rate over the last 6 months. And I know partially it's because Spirit and all of you right now are moving much more quickly onto your spiritual path, as well as stepping into your purpose, your blueprint. And really, for me, as a medium and an Akashic Records teacher and a reader, what that means is that before, a lot of people were really deep in learning their karmic lessons throughout lifetimes and throughout history, and also even throughout this lifetime. And now there has been a shift. There's been a shift, which I know all of you are probably aware of if you're watching these types of readings and you understand that we're moving along on our journey of enlightenment and evolution. And so, being someone who helps others step into this, I hope that I can provide a clear reading and message that is timeless and that resonates for you, that will help you step more into your alignment, to your blueprint, to your purpose, and into your daily life, feeling much more connected to your intuition and your inner knowing. So, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm really going to call upon this is a Akashic Records channeled message for a collective. If it resonates, please feel free to save it. And also, I would love for you to come back and see me. So, subscribe. And I do these readings regularly. And if you have any questions about any information which you'll hear in this reading about the concepts I'm talking about, please let me know. I'm excited to be creating further videos on much more detail about the Akashic Records and working in them and understanding them and being able to heal as well as manifest in a way that's really clear and useful. That's my intention. So let's get it started, shall we? I'm just going to tune in and see what we're getting. The words that keep coming through to me today are the words gatekeeping, gatekeeper. So the word gatekeeping, gatekeeper, there's two parts to that. The first thing we talk about that term in terms of gatekeeping, meaning people who privatize and also covet information. And in this case, we're going to be talking about spiritual information. In fact, we're going to be talking about the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records has really had an air of mystery around it, and energy of allure, and an energy of lack of accessibility. Possibly only a few people can access the records, or it seems very mysterious. And then we have the gatekeepers, the gatekeeping. So the gatekeepers are actually the Akashic Records gatekeepers. And if we look at the Akashic Records as the library of our soul, as the blueprint of our soul, as the really all of the memory and the data and the energetics, which tell us about who we are. And there's so much to that. And I will definitely do future videos breaking that down into bite-sized pieces. Now, your information, your soul's information, which actually is found in the fifth dimension, just a few steps more into lightness than our current 3D energy. We look at it as a place that holds our sacred information and the wisdom of who we are. And also, there's a lot of in depth information there. There are gatekeepers in the Akashic Records that protect your information, that protect others' information, and that also make sure to help people navigate it when they go into their own records. So, learning how to work through the process of connecting with the records doesn't have to be difficult or challenging, but there are steps involved. So, let's understand gatekeeping, meaning only some people can access it, which is completely false and misinformation, and also sounds a lot like religion, right? And then the gatekeepers, which are the ones that respect and understand and keep your information safe. So there's a difference. I'm hearing that right away. I want to lean into as I'm connecting with the gatekeepers or the gate, I would say the guides of the Akashic Records. who guard your information. And let's just see what they're talking about. Interesting. They're mentioning to me the word twins. And I believe we're talking about two different parts of ourselves and possibly two different parts of you. So let's talk about that. So they're showing me an image of your spiritual self, your soul, and the soul's blueprint of who you are throughout history, throughout time, and how that now is disconnected from many of you in this current life. And how can we get that into alignment is what I'm sensing. Now, this is obviously a bigger topic, possibly, but how can we start clearing out some of the energy so we can be more in alignment and matched? And part of that is a lot of the lifetimes and the karma and the density and the energy that is keeping you disconnected can be cleared. So imagine if you were trying to learn a skill. Let's say you were trying to learn how to play baseball and you started out and someone gave you the mitt and someone gave you the bat and then you got a ball, but you just didn't know how to get from here to there. And there was all this space in between. And with that, there can be challenges, difficulties, seeming having there be blockages or even your mindset, emotional difficulties, people getting involved and saying things to you that it would be hard to do. And all of that puts you in a block between who you are in this moment and where you want to go. It's the same exact thing with you and your soul's blueprint and your higher self and the information that's really in the Akashic Records, which is your true nature. What we need to do is clear out the energy between here and there and to be able to come into alignment. And how do we do that? And there's a few things here that I'm noticing that that some of you are transitioning out of and some of you are learning to grow through. And I'll talk about those in a moment. But we can go through those channels to clear those things out by accessing our Akashic Records because it's a higher vibration, it's a lighter place. It's easy for us to see where the blocks are, to clear them out, and then to come into blending and alignment. It's like taking out an ingredient or even a thorn that's stuck in your hand or your arm or your leg or something and making it whole again, right? So you're getting to a place of clarity and moving out the pain, the root of it, and coming back into alignment. So some of you right now, specifically, some of the places where you feel stuck and not in alignment with with your soul's essence, your blueprint has to do with finances. But there's also a program connected in that I'm hearing and seeing, which has to do with feeling desolate, not feeling connected, feeling not as though everyone else is getting their manifestations. Everyone else understands the concepts. Everyone else is clicking. It's working for everybody else, but your energy is feeling as though you've done something wrong or you don't understand this. And that's part of the subconscious or the blockages or the karma that you can release by working in the Akashic Records. You can clear it out quite literally. The other thing is stepping into, so that's the Five of Pentacles energy that's coming up. Right? That's the Five of Pentacles. And then we have the Six of Wands, which is trumping it. And what I see this as, it's exactly what they're showing me, are these two on top of each other. I want you to imagine this. This is the human self with all the blockages and all the disconnections and not feeling powerful. This is the soul blueprint, the true self, the Five of Wands. So what we want to do is remove these blockages and then bring this into alignment. That is absolutely possible to do. And it's all based on clearing frequency, getting to the root of it, right? So what I see is really happening, which is good, is right now in your life, you are reaching out for spirit to your guides, your intuition to give you help. You realize that you have to create this connection, this relationship, this intimacy with spirit in order to have things move along. So you're not trying to do it all yourself. You're not waiting. You're not staying in the energy too long of, I'm just going to be honest with what they're telling me, self-pity, self-comparison, competition, and just depression. You're saying, okay, I need help. And please help me understand this. Make it very clear for me. Have it be incredibly simple. and make it something manageable that I can do. And absolutely, you can do this. This is what it's like to be in the higher frequency. This is what it's like to be more of an expansive being. This is what it's like when you're connected to your, if you want to say, your higher self, your star seed side. Who you are is by realizing you can move through things much faster by asking and coming into frequency with those higher beings, which are all part of your family. That's all part of your soul family. Let's see what else they're giving us. Messages, information. And let me know in the comments if this is making sense to you and if it resonates. Here's more information for us. King of Swords in reverse, 10 of Wands in reverse. So the way I get messages from my guides with reversals, especially when it comes to archetypes of like a king or a queen, I go back to the sign before. In this case, it's the Queen of Swords. And I look at what she needs to do to correct her energy to be in the upright. And that means self-awareness. That means you being aware of what you're telling yourself, you being aware of how you talk to yourself, you being aware of how you react, how you respond, what you do when you hear the messages about your self-concept, your self-perception. That's going to be the thing that's going to help you release the burden. And it's going to help you move into a place much more, again, let's go back to our model of the archetype and the energy of the Six of Wands, superseding and integrating past the Five of Pentacles. We're moving out of a blocked position. Continue, see what else we have. I feel there's more coming on. We're getting quite a few cards in reverse, which is interesting, which I think is good because it's telling us where we need to do some releasing and work. This is where the shadow work is helpful. And this is why it's very helpful to work in the Akashic Records on a soul level to remove these blocks. I also want to say I'm going to connect in. I have a Akashic Records meditation. I also have a clearing energy blocks meditation. And both of those are really imbued with information and prompts and activations for you to have clearing. So that will really help you a lot. Now, any questions, just put it in the comments. Emperor in reverse. Okay. 8 of Cups in reverse. When we look at the Emperor, let's go back to the idea we had. Let's go back a card. And what do we need to know? The Empress is in reverse. What are you? You're disconnected with your ability to create. You're disconnected and not in alignment with your own sense of nurturing. And of also, the Empress does not act. She grows and receives. And she is the divine mother. She is the earth body, of course, but she's also the creator energy. So it grows from her. So you're feeling disconnected from that. And part of that is because there's an emotional component to this of not wanting to necessarily move on from something. 8 of Cups, we go back to the 7 of Cups in reverse, which is that you made a choice. When you have the 7 of Cups in reverse, you chose the right cup, right? But you're not quite ready to move on yet because of this hesitancy of feeling like you're the creator energy. You have to get into the energy, which is in manifestation, law of attraction, which is I am the creator. Things are not being done to us. We are creating this. And that's a big concept. And I don't want anyone to be too hard on themselves about that. But there's such an empowering statement there for you to understand that you are the creator. You are the manifester. You are connected to the divine being, divine mother, and you are the divine. The nice part about this is when we're getting the 5 of Wands and the Tower in reverse is that, and I'm getting a being here, a spirit, kind of putting a curtsy down like this, that the doorway is open for you, that you are ready to release. You have cried, in a sense of cried out and said, I need help. And so you're ready to release the struggle. That's an excellent sign. With the 4 of Cups in reverse, the 5 of Wands next to the Tower in reverse, and with the having that 6 of Wands superseding over the 5 of Pentacles really shows me that you're ready to give this up. You're ready to give up the struggle, the negative self-concept, the everybody else is figuring out and I'm not. this is a story I had. I had to get to the bottom of it. I'm with you. I understand the root cause of things. This is why I work in the Akashic Records. All right, what else do we have here? We have a lot of unconscious energy coming out, but there's change here as well. So we have the Four of Pentacles in the moon. The moon is a beautiful energy, but it's also mystery. It's keeping us connected to illusion. And where there's a process with the moon that we need to discover ahead of us. If you notice in the traditional moon card, there's a lobster there, right? And the lobster needs to head down and go down the path between the pillars to the light. But there's a process there of coming out of, the water and being more in the liminal space, not being conscious per se, and then going through spiritual evolution, right? There's a journey there, but you're going through the illusion of what you think things are. Next to the Four of Pentacles, which is a stubborn, resistant, I don't want to get through this card. It's an energy that says, I don't know if I want to change. Be aware of that. But the beauty of it is, what do you have? You have the Wheel of Fortune, which just says it's time for change. So it's here, it's imminent, it's upon you. Queen of Cups in reverse and the Page of Cups in reverse. So you're disconnected from your emotions. And I'm also hearing your own mercy towards yourself. So you want to be aware of that. And you want to be mindful that you need to take care of yourself. And you need to be really reticent to jump right in and feel like you have to fix everything. I'm going to pull one more card from the Starseed deck because that's needed and required. And also let me know if you have any questions or want to know more, please let me know. We have the Pleiadian energy coming through, the 7 star sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. That's beautiful. The Pleiadian energy, whether you identify with that or not, it's very close to our system. The Pleiadian beings, which may even be in your soul's lineage, which can be discovered in the Akashic Records as well, they are very closely linked to humanity and they're here to help. So this is just, to me, a recognition to know your guides are all around you. You have so much star help around you. You have so much ancestral help. You have your own guides and your higher self that are really here to help you step into this timeline, this alignment, and where you are exactly. I hope this reading resonated with you. Be sure to like and subscribe. And make sure you check out that meditation, the 2 I have, the Akashic Records one and the removing blocks. We'll see you in the next video.